when you do find your goal, be honest with yourself and find your starting point. That's a huge thing. So where are you starting at? If you want a nicely defined six-pack abs, let's just say six-pack abs are attained below 10% body fat, okay, for anybody. For females, maybe below 12 or 14, okay? And you currently have a huge gut, like 20 pounds worth of a huge gut, you're not going to get a six-pack abs in 2 months, 3 months. It's not going to happen, right? So be honest where your starting point is. Clearly define what your goal is. And from there, you can start filling in the sequences in between.
Whenever I sat down with people, the first thing that they told me is what they don't want.
Yes.
And the second thing that was very astonishing, it was very surprising, was they can't even visualize what
they do want.
which is insane. And I think that's 99.9% of the problem.
Yes.
Is that you're not telling your brain what the hell it wants.
Yes.
What it wants. Your heart can't desire what it doesn't see.
Welcome back to Behind the Strength, where we improve your health, wealth, and peace of mind. I'm Christian Alvarez.
And I'm Carlo Balagase. Welcome back to the show.
For those of you who are joining us first, we are actually entrepreneurs who own a fitness and therapy business in Toronto, Canada. We've been up for about 8 years, and we are expanding to multiple locations. We took our business from a 1,200 square foot facility to now 10,000 square foot facility or over, and into a multi-million-dollar business. So,
all right. So yeah, I mean, first of all, we want to thank you for listening. For those who have been listening throughout this, from the beginning to the middle to even just now, if you just started listening, thank you for taking your time and trying to figure out what we're about, trying to filter out if we're full of shit or not. We appreciate you.
If you want to get at us, you can find us on Instagram.
At Strengthen You, STRENGTHNU, no hyphens. Or you could email us at bts@strengthenu.com.
Also YouTube, they can find us, right?
You can find us on YouTube as well. We have our podcast on YouTube. I don't know if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. We're everywhere.
Awesome. So today we're actually going to cover a topic that was asked of us from our members, or from one of a member. And the question was, how do I find the right training program for me? And I'm sure a lot of you guys who are in the fitness or into fitness ask yourselves this all the time. Or if you're starting out, it could be really, really hard. And, you're very bombarded these days by so many programs, so many trainers, so many different ways to train.
Yes.
Right?
I agree, especially now too. When you're scrolling through Instagram and you see somebody doing something and they mention, "Oh, don't do it this way. You shouldn't do this way. Do it this way." It's easy for you to be like, "Oh shit!" You start questioning yourself, like, "Is this? Fuck, I'm kind of doing it that way. Should I be following it this way?"
Yeah, you know what? There's so much overload of information these days that it's so hard to pinpoint which one to use for yourself.
Yes.
Right? First and foremost, we always say get a coach. I mean, this goes to say with any industry. If you want to get good at something, if you want the shortcut and the surest way possible, get a good coach. That's number one, right? That's of course.
Sometimes our goals for our physical goals for our body and the way we look and feel, it's similar to that of, hey, I want to make it to the NCAA or even the NBA. That's how how extreme our goals, not extreme, I mean like that's how serious our goals are sometimes. And you're literally you haven't played ball whatsoever. So keeping that in mind, you're not just going to step on the court, never dribbled the ball and never shot a ball before and then decide like I want to play in the NBA.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You sign up for the
house
elementary
league.
School house league.
Yeah.
See if that works. Even you start off playing basketball in your neighborhood, buy a little hoop and start playing around. And then eventually you start playing other people, and then you eventually start getting a coach to coach you and actually teach you how to dribble, what the rules are.
Right.
How to effectively move on the court, how to move the ball around, how to use other teammates to kind of get to your goal. So it's the same thing in fitness, right? How to utilize these skills, learn the basic skills, and then more advanced strategies to kind of break down your time frame, and you can get there much faster and easier. Mm-hmm. And then now, after that point, after you get to the point of being an NCAA or NBA, you don't have to think about how to dribble a ball. You don't have to think about how to pivot properly. You don't think about the rules. Now you utilize everything you learn and you kill it in the game.
I mean, to put into perspective, first, let's find out what your goal is.
There you go.
Like if you have, first, like really define what your goal is. If it's weight loss, it's weight loss. If it's to get, better cardio, better interval cardio, or better recovery, then let that be it. But make sure you have your goal dead set, and from there, that can kind of point you in the right direction. If you want to get leaner, you're obviously going to go towards a fat loss specialist, right? If you're trying to build muscle, then you might want to go through the route of following people who have been there before, bodybuilding, strength lifters, or weight lifters, anything like that, right?
So you're saying pretty much like establish your goal. When you do, just stick to that goal.
I would, well, definitely you got to
For a
stick to your
period of
goal.
time.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
because like I said before, okay, I want to lose weight, Christian, and then I see somebody lifting, 5 plates. I'm like, that looks fucking cool.
Yeah. You can't all of a sudden go and I'm going to try
And
that
now I want to do
tomorrow.
powerlifting.
Yeah. You can't be all over the place. So number one,
Yeah.
define your goal. What is it that you're after? If you're after a powerlifting meet, then go for it, right? But I would stick to that for a while, because if you never stick to anything, you're never really going to get anywhere, right? Sticking to a program for a month or even 3 months, to be honest with you, as good as 3 months may seem, 12 weeks, just sticking to that alone, you're not going to get to very, very far places. You're never going to maximize your potential is what we're trying to say.
Yes.
So first and foremost, have a goal. When you do find your goal, be honest with yourself and find your starting point. That's a huge thing. So where are you starting at? If you want a nicely defined six-pack abs, let's just say six-pack abs are attained below 10% body fat, okay, for anybody. For females, maybe below 12 or 14, okay? And you currently have a huge gut, like 20 pounds worth of a huge gut, you're not going to get a six-pack abs in 2 months, 3 months. It's not going to happen, right? So be honest where your starting point is. Clearly define what your goal is. And from there, you can start filling in the sequences in between,
Yes.
right? Because that's a huge point. I mean, a lot of times people will be like, okay, I want abs. I mean, you see this all the time. It's getting nicer outside. It already has been.
Yeah.
Okay. May's gonna roll around, and I want abs by June. 4 weeks. I haven't lifted weights. I haven't got up off my couch in the last year.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
It shouldn't happen.
Why not?
Okay. Anything
Bowflex tells me it will.
Anything could happen, but do you
The
want
magic pill that says it will.
Well, you want to look like that and stay like that.
Right.
That's the important part.
Right.
Right. And you want to acquire the knowledge and know-how to be able to just if when you want to summon that knowledge and skill and do it again and again and again.
You know what's a great tactic? Actually, I'm just taking this from like old bodybuilding days, what they used to do. Well, first of all, it always helps to get a starting point photo of yourself, front view, side view, rear view type of thing. And kind of analyze and assess what you're trying to do with, like, are you trying to build up your chest a little more? Are you trying to fill out your shoulders a little more? Are you trying to decrease the tire around the stomach area, right?
So
Are you
visualize pretty much.
Yeah,
Like, really see yourself for what you want.
Yeah. And
So I actually, you're a good point that you just made. Whenever I sat down with people, the first thing that they told me is what they don't want.
yes.
And the second thing that was very astonishing, it was very surprising, was they can't even visualize what the fuck
What
they
they do
want,
want.
which is insane. And I think that's 99.9% of the problem.
Yes.
Is that you're not telling your brain what the hell it wants.
Yes.
What it wants. Your heart can't desire what it doesn't see.
Yes.
So if you can't, if you can't visualize personally in your head, when you look in the mirror, it's like, fuck, I can't see what I should be looking like. I always encourage people, like, listen, man, go on Instagram, since you're on there freaking hours a day, and just see, like, dare to dream, have the audacity to be like, I kind of want that body. I kind of want that body.
Yeah, find somebody with a similar structure to you, so it's a little bit more honest, and yeah, dare to dream about that body and having that particular body,
Because
right?
it starts there. Because when it gets hard, that's the difference between winners and losers. Is that the winners keep their eyes on the prize.
Yeah, the visual is always there. They never.
When I was
stray.
training my ass off, I didn't want to do it. I imagined myself holding up the belt and my opponent just getting dominated. I was visualizing. I'm like, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this for myself. So you have to be clear in what you want.
Yeah, they never stray away. So that's a huge thing. Obviously, give yourself some checkpoints, right? Giving yourself some checkpoints will allow you to kind of chart your progress. That's going to be a huge thing. So,
What do you mean by that?
like, if you have a goal and you have some timelines, you got to give yourself some checkpoints. So let's just say if you have, we're going to go back to fat loss because it's probably the biggest thing that we're ever going to see the fitness industry.
It's fat loss. Like probably 90% of people.
90% that who get into this start with fat loss
Yeah.
or weight loss.
Sure, let's go there.
And so if you have, like, say, a 6-month goal ahead of you, don't check how where you're at right now today, and then again 6 months later, that's too late. First of all, it's too late to troubleshoot anything. It's too late to change anything in your program, and your body's probably gotten so used to your program by then it nothing's working for you.
Yep.
I would take little checkpoints. So it's kind of like when you're in a race, you have little checkpoints to make sure is my car still good? Do I still have gas? Are my tires still going to run till the next checkpoint?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every month I would check myself off, or 6 weeks. Those are good checkpoints. Every time you do that, coincide with a new program, right? I mean,
Well,
those are big things, right?
Especially if you live on your own, you know that you need to check your bank account and see how much money is still in there, right? You want to make sure that you still have money to be able to make decisions and to financially support yourself for the next paycheck.
Yes.
So it's just the same thing. You want to always check what's happening. The universal law, you get what you measure.
Yes.
That's it.
Now, upon starting any program, mind you, we'll give you a step-by-step plan after this. Upon starting any program, it's great to when you're first analyzing yourself and where you're at, and in being honest with yourself, I say, double check and see. And actually, I would go and see a professional, a practitioner, to see if you have anything that will hinder you from this program, any aches that you may have in your body, any pains that you may have in your body. Because right now, it may just be an ache and a pain as you sit, all day. But as you start your exercise program, those things can essentially get worse if you do something wrong, if you lift with improper postures or improper form, or if you do something to, those things can heighten that injury. So you want to make sure, and obviously the biggest thing too that we always look at here at Strengthen You is imbalances. So all of us have imbalances between left to right. If you're a right-hander, you're naturally going to be stronger on your right hand, right? Your right side of your body when you're doing things.
Your muscles will fire a little bit differently.
Yeah, and actually, like, cool fact. So if you're, let's just say, a right-hander, you're naturally the front of your right side of your body is going to be stronger, and the left back side of your body is going to be stronger. Why? Because it's always stabilizing. So one is always leading, one is always stabilizing, right? So you're going to have imbalances. If you already have aches and pains, before you start any program, get that checked out. See where you're at. Like, let's just see where your body is at first before you start overloading it with weights, with all kinds of crazy exercises, and all kinds of stupid diets and whatever, right? You got to make sure to see, okay, is my body ready to take this new program on?
It's almost like the circle check when you go for long distance car rides, right? You want to do a circle check. You want to make sure that your tire pressure is right. You want to walk around if there's any, your shocks are, properly, whatever, in the same height. You have proper alignment. You do your, what's that called again? Your tune-up. Make sure you have a tune-up.
There you go.
Your oil's right. Just because, again, you're going through a journey, just like your car. You want to make sure everything is proper before you push it to that limit.
Actually, you nailed it right when you said tune-up, because there's a lot of people, actually we encourage our clientele, even ourselves, here to constantly go for a tune-up. So if almost like I'm doing my monthly or my every 6-week check as to where I'm at, my checkpoint, I would actually go for a tune-up to go alongside with that. Go see a chiro. If you're into the adjustments to get realigned, go get into that. You don't have to get adjusted. Get some soft tissue done on maybe some parts that are achy, maybe some parts that are swollen. Get a little bit of acupuncture done, stuff like that, right? So getting a tune-up every month, every 6 weeks is definitely helpful in your program. It keeps the body functioning at a good high state, right?
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Last but not least, what type of working out do you like doing? So right now, maybe you can't answer that, and that's probably why you're asking this question. Then go for different ones. Try it. Try different workouts. Try different trainers, right? Like we said to you in past podcasts, hey, listen, a good trainer should be able to give you a sample of a workout.
Okay, so
right?
So let's give an example. If I didn't know what I was doing, I want to lose weight, Christian. I don't know what. There's so many things out there.
Okay.
There's a boot camp.
Yep.
There's maybe personal training.
Oh, perfect.
There's boxer size classes.
Perfect. So
there's in cycling. Like all those things I read up. I see that I'm losing weight. I could lose weight here because there's a good for fat loss. What do you recommend for me?
I would ask you first and foremost, what type of environment do you like to work out in? Or would you want to work out in, or where would you be comfortable? Is it going to be in a group environment? Is it going to be in a one-on-one private environment, right? Is it going to be in a big box gym where you're working out and there's a whole bunch of other people there too? You're not necessarily being guided. So what type of environment do you like to be in?
So group or solo?
Group or solo,
That's
number
pretty much
one.
it, right? Or small group. You could do it with your a
Either
couple of
way,
friends.
it's still going to be a group.
Small group. Yeah. Okay.
So
there you go.
group
So
or
group
solo?
or solo.
Do you want to work out on your own, or do you want to work out? Number two, are you going to try and go at this alone? Which, if you're a beginner, I don't suggest.
So if you're going to go solo, first let's go there.
Let's go solo. Are you
Okay,
gonna
now
go?
your second
Are
choice
you gonna
option.
go at this alone? Because there's a lot of research for you to do.
Okay.
If
so
not,
I say yes. I want to go. So if I tell you, Christian, you know what? Let me try this on my own.
okay.
Never done this before.
Okay.
What kind of program do you recommend me starting off with? What's in? You don't give me a program. Obviously, it's gonna be impossible. But what should my program cover with that?
It should entail obviously some stretching or something to limber you up and stretch out your
Mobility.
muscles. Something with contraction, so some form of resistance training. I'm not saying weight training. I'm saying resistance. Your body could be used as resistance. Elastic bands and stuff can be used as resistance.
Machines too, simple machines.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So some sort of resistance, something to limber you up and get you flexible, and something to work your heart. Now, this can be all combined within a 1 hour workout. It can be broken down into, say, 10-minute segments or 20-minute segments. It can be rotated through. You could even do a day of, say, a cardiovascular type of working out, right? If you're going to go at it solo, you're probably going to go on a treadmill, or you're going to go outside or go for a hike or something. And then I would do maybe a total body weight workout to start. If you've never worked out before, I would start with my body weight.
Yes.
Learn to lift your body.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that way, you're contracting muscles and you're getting some sort of resistance.
See,
After-
look at all this stuff that you're saying, right?
And-
Look at all
yeah.
these like these stimuluses. All the way I see it, the way I'm hearing it, it's almost like a recipe.
Of course it is.
Like and this is very important, guys. This is very important because just like food and what your preference is, there's so many preferences that would either you like and I don't like, or we both like. So this is why it's very important to start understanding and start exploring different
Yes.
things for yourself,
Yes.
just like recipes.
Well, because naturally too, like and the reason why I say something to limber you up, something that you're flexible. First of all, we as humans don't move more than a regular day's worth of movement.
Yeah,
So, which means there's a lot of muscles that are already tight or that are already limiting our ability to get fitter. Obviously, right? And as you're going to start doing resistance training, as you're going to start doing repetitive cardiovascular activities, it's going to naturally tighten up the muscles again. So you want these muscles a little bit looser, a little bit more reactive to demands that you're going to be placing on it.
So for this first bit, because we talked about phases before and stuff like that, this first phase, if we're referencing what we're talking about, the periodization as a newbie. So you said add a little bit of cardio. How much cardio? Am I pushing the envelope? What am I doing here?
No.
At this phase, what do we focus on? Is it just moving?
Well, to be honest with you, it's getting your heart rate up more than it's used to.
Okay.
So if your heart rate is used to being at 75 beats a minute, getting it up a little higher is technically cardio already.
Yes.
But what you want to do is, like, let's just say about 30% or 30 to 40% the start of a good max heart rate. So usually I'm just going to tell you guys a good range. If you're about our age, 35 or so, well, 120 to 135 is a good place to start. Okay, 135 is going to be on the higher end. Now, I know there's people out there who exercise and work out all the time. You're going to be like, oh, 135 is nothing. That's great. You've been exercising for a long time. We're talking to the person who is just starting or about to commence a fitness lifestyle for
Hey man,
himself.
dude, I used to run 10K 4 times a day in the beginning, then sprints in the middle, then Muay Thai at night with a 40-pound vest, right?
Yeah.
If I don't work out for like 4 months, 6 months, I'm on the treadmill. 15 minutes feels like death.
Exactly.
So I don't give a shit what anybody says. You don't like you will start losing that. And referencing JJ's video, like how long will it take for me to lose the gains, like cardiovascular wise, muscle wise? There is a period of time where if you don't do anything, you're gonna lose it.
By the way, the first thing that you lose is your cardio. You guys know
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
Your cardio is the first thing you lose. If you haven't trained in a while, if your body is detrained, or if you haven't exercised. So, and upon starting it, honestly, if you're really, let's just say if you really have not exercised in years or even decades, 10 minutes is good.
Yes, man. Just
Work your way up.
You know,
Everything
jump
is,
start, man. It's not. You don't have to rev the engine so hard. Just let it run a little bit.
people have to remember that everything in life is a stack of your habits, right? It should be progressive, and it should be a stack of every day. How you're going to lose that 30 pounds is a stack of good habits every day and not following these stupid habits every day. I'm not going to go straight home after work, sit on a couch, pop a beer open, have my potato chips and order a pizza. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to pass by the salad bar after and grab me a shake and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to replace these habits for these habits.
Or if it's super hard for you to even transition like that,
Yeah.
I tell people, listen, if you're eating McDonald's breakfast for breakfast, pizza at lunch, and then whatever your culture for Chinese food at night, you want to lose weight and it's hard for you, stop eating McDonald's breakfast first.
Yeah, start there. Just start there alone.
Stop that. Just stop that and eat a regular, healthier breakfast.
Yeah.
For the next week.
Oatmeal with whatever, yeah.
Keep eating what the hell you want after, and then listen, the next week, remove a little bit of the shitty lunch and then incorporate a healthier. This is for the person who's like who wants to do it, but you know who I'm talking about. The person who's like, I want to do this, Christian, and they're like, okay, well, take out this and this and this. You're like,
I can't do
fuck, I
that.
can't do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like people like that. If that's you, then slowly, it's okay.
Everything,
it's
it
gradual.
It should be gradual. It should be progressive, and just like your exercise, guys. If your body is detrained and you haven't done anything, half hour of exercise, 30-minute session in a day is a lot. It's totally
better
is.
than none. That's what.
But it's enough. It's enough, and it's a lot.
I agree.
So if you're trying to push an envelope there, so if you're asking me as a beginner, I would go maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
I would go half an hour, and that half an hour should cover some form of cardiovascular, getting my heart rate up, some form of resistance, and some form of loosening my body and my joints and gaining mobility back.
Okay.
That half an hour should entail everything. Say by week 3, week 4, you increase your exercising to 40 minutes or 35. Or another way you can do it, you can change up the exercises, right? Or another way you can do it, you can decrease your rest period. All those little things that you do, those micro changes, all stimulate the body and better yet the neurological system, which is the overall things that fire your system, that makes it go. It stimulates that. And any of those changes will cause actually radical changes on the outside of your body.
Yep.
And as well as your actual output after.
Yeah, because it's a cycle, right? You increase your cardio, your output in your entire workout will get much better because your recovery is much better. It's all one, and this is why you have to introduce good food because that will now give you a bit more energy within your workout and give you recovery after your workout, so you could have a better workout the next day or the day after. Everything is connected.
Now, if you are starting, so let's just say you find the right program for you, right? Or you find a program that you think you can stick to. Stick to it for at least 6 weeks, guys. 4 to 6 weeks. And I say 6. The reason why I say 6 is because it takes about a week and a half to 2 for your body to adjust to a new program, a new fitness program or workout program. Then you're actually going to start getting the body geared into getting some results out of this thing. Right? And after about the 6 weeks or 5 weeks or so, it starts to get accustomed to it, where it's no longer a challenge. That's where your body can potentially plateau or whatever. And that's why at least give your body time to adjust, see some changes, and then change it up before it starts to stick, to plateau. You know what I mean? And this is the only way to really see results. You can't keep changing up the way you work out and expect to see these drastic results. And even if you do, you'll never know what got you there. You know what I mean? So that's just taking out half the headache for you. Knowing what you're actually doing to get there is going to be massive in this.
I agree.
Know that everything works. Everything works. Okay? There's no diet out there that doesn't work. You stick to it, it's going to work.
What do they say? Everything works if you do, nothing works if you don't.
Yes. There is no wrong person there is no wrong program. There's just a wrong person doing the wrong program.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Because you see it everywhere. The site, like say Soul Cycle or whatever, those cyclists, people rave about, oh my God, I lost all this weight. And say for Strength in You, our group classes, oh my God, I lost all this weight. I got stronger, blah, blah, blah. And people always battle like, oh, which one's better? Which one's better? Dude, the best one was the one that you fucking got success from.
Exactly.
That's it.
Everything works, guys. As
So
long
if
as you stick to it, it will work for you.
If you're in group classes, if you like the Good Life freaking, group classes there, Group X, do that. If you enjoy that, do that.
Now, let me tell you a key thing in this whole fitness thing, okay? It's a little secret. This goes especially for anybody that's gone on Weight Watchers, any soup diets, as was asked by us. Dr. Bernstein, man, you name it, all these things. Once you're done your program, what are you going to do afterwards to either maintain your current, bill of health or status of health, right? Or two, what are you going to do? What's your next goal? So the problem with a lot of these people is they'll lose massive amounts of weight doing Dr. Bernstein's diet or Weight Watchers or whatever, and then afterwards they go back to eating like crap, like the way they used to, or going back to the same habits they had when they were fat.
Yeah, it's climbing. It's like climbing that huge mountain and then just rolling down the other side.
Exactly.
Why just stay there?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do to maintain?
So
that?
think about this. Anybody that is on a nutrition plan or program or whatever it is, or any, fat loss, summer's coming up. What are you going to do once the summer hits? Are you just going to gain back the 20 or 30 pounds you lost? Right? What are you going to do? What is your next program to either one, maintain your current bill of health, and two, how do you progress even further than this? So please always be thinking a step ahead. It's like chess. This is like chess.
I think a big part of that too is once you get there, understanding and accepting that that is the new you. A lot of people hold on to the old self. It's almost like I came from Philippines and I'm all about Philippines. Like, no, let me kill it in Canada now. Like, I'm Canadian now. I want to dominate this. I want to be successful in this land. Yes, pay homage to the Philippines and stuff like that, and represent that. Right, tell that as part of my story, but this is who I am, Canadian now, and I want to be a successful person here. It's almost like that, right?
Yeah. Now, something to consider when you're asking, okay, what's the right program for me? What type of working out should I do? Part of it's going to have to do with your timing. How much time can you allot to exercise on any given day? So is it 30 minutes? Is it 60? Is it an hour and a half? Do you have all day to do this? And how many days a week are you going to actually allot to this? Because part of your plan should be, one is the rest portion, which allows you to recover, your muscles to actually grow and recover and to get that soreness to kind of go away and all that stuff, right? And two, how much time are you going to actually have for this? Because if you expect to have, let's just say the old bodybuilding program, weight train for an hour and 20 minutes, another cardio for 45 to an hour, guarantee a lot of you at home don't have that time.
No.
2 hours and 2 hours. A lot of those guys don't work. Remember that. They have 2 hours and 30 minutes to do cardio and weights every day. You don't.
That used to be me, man.
So you have to look at the efficiency of your workout, right? And this is why I said, especially if you're a beginner, take those 3 aspects of fitness, the cardio, the flexibility, and the resistance, and cram it into 30 minutes, right? And as your fitness develops, and let's just say you make this a little bit more important in your life, and you're starting to allot more time for it, because let's be honest, that's really all it is.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you have a family or whatever, it's literally what you put into it, right? Because I can guarantee you there's a lot of time that we waste in a day doing other dumb shit, such as looking on Instagram and all that stuff. So if you can take maybe 10 of those minutes and sit on a bike extra and whatever it is, right? That's a huge difference already. So keeping in mind that the timing and the amount of time you have for this and the timing of your rest is going to be important. Rest, I say, is like, when I say, I mean in between your workouts, or if you're resting for 2 minutes after each set, then in half an hour, you're not going to cover very much working out.
Yeah.
You have to understand that, right? So keep that in mind when you are choosing your program.
So, okay, after the first initial 6 weeks, you're getting better. You could work out now for about an hour. You're good. You're loving the gym now. You're a bit stronger than you were. Your cardio is on point. You could do cardio for half an hour now without really killing yourself. It's challenging still. Everything's still challenging because you're still pushing yourself. And I start to see that my results are starting to get flat. What would I do next? Because that's a big question that we get too.
That's very simple. It's what is it that I'm going after?
Okay, so the weight loss person.
Yeah, I would take a picture of myself again and say, okay, have I lost enough weight that I wanted for the time being? Is it time to rebuild the structure of my body? And when you do that, you're going to have to go one way or the other. That means you're going to have to build lean tissue. I don't want to say put on weight or put on muscle, because a lot of people get screwed up with that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to build a little bit of lean tissue. You're going to have to kind of inflate those muscles a little bit to give yourself some sort of shape or form, right?
Yeah, you form yourself if you think about it.
If that's the case, then you're going to go towards a program that's going to be building your body a little bit more, right? If you look at your picture now and you say, okay, well, I've lost some weight, 6 weeks, lost maybe about 8 pounds or so. I think I'm going to lose more. I want to lose more, and I could turn it up a notch. Then you're going to change more into a fat loss program.
Which
You know,
consists of what? A bit more.
speedier workouts, right? Faster. I can't say faster sets. Sorry. You're doing sets faster in between rest periods. So your rest periods decrease. Let's just say you're increasing your heart rate a lot higher. You may
During
be-
the
during the
exercises?
actual exercise itself.
Yep.
You may be doing interval workouts, so which means stop go, right? Which increases your heart rate up and down. So
You could circuit your weights in a fashion like you know a total body weight training
at
kind
that
of thing.
point,
Yep.
at that point, this is why we said get a time check on yourself. You always check, okay, where am I at and what do I want after this? So at the 6 weeks, every 6 weeks, put a marker on. Okay, have I lost enough weight? Do I like where I'm at? Do I like where I'm looking? What's my next thing? Oh, you know what? I've lost, like, let's just say after about 12 weeks, you're like, I lost so much weight, but man, I lost a lot of my body strength. Because that happens.
A lot.
It happens a lot.
Because a lot of focus is just on me like going for the 15 reps, right? Not like going through 15 reps, but the last 3 are still challenging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, in that case, then you might want to go towards a strengthening program. A little bit more use of dumbbells and barbells and machinery and stuff like that.
What do you say to the person who's scared of gaining weight at that phase?
Who's scared of gaining weight?
'Cause that's the thing. It's the mental blockage. Christian, I want to do that, but I don't want to get bigger.
Okay, so I have to ask you first and foremost that it takes, especially if it's a female, it is nearly impossible to get big and jacked up without the use of hormones or other things like that. So let's just knock that out. The bulky look comes from heavy lifting or heavier lifting and even heavier eating.
Yeah.
So
I always tell people that too,
So the bulky look, when you guys are actually training for hypertrophy or muscle growth, and you're eating clean and you're eating just the right amount of calories for you just to gain those little bits of muscle, you're not going to get bulky.
No, not at all.
Bulk is fat and water, otherwise known as bloat. That is bulk, people. So you don't get bulky from lifting some sort of weights or from resistance training. And I'm not even saying to go and lift weights. I'm saying to do some sort of resistance training. You could use bungees, bands, TRXs, kettlebells, BOSUs, anything can be used as a resistance, right? Pilates, bar, all these, there's so many, right? You could even add resistance to a bike as you're actually
something
pedaling.
that challenges the muscle to push a little bit harder than it's used to,
something
really.
that has to, that gets the muscles to flex and to contract. Those are big things.
And that's one of those mental blockages that you kind of have to get over, that me lifting weights or having resistance means me bulking. No, you could actually have resistance, still eat clean, because it's almost like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lift weights, I could eat like shit now because I'm just in the bulking phase.
No,
No, that's stupid. That's old school shit that you need to throw out.
Exactly. And as we're saying this, when you are transitioning between programs, give yourself a week's worth of at least transitioning to that new program. When I say that, you go and switch your program to something else. You're not going to go balls to the wall, as we say, or hardcore on your first week. You shouldn't, because number one, your body is not accustomed to that workout or to maybe some of those movements, that rep range, the rest that you're allowing yourself or not allowing yourself. You got to give yourself a week of transition. I always suggest, so yes, 6 weeks is when we should change it, but before then, you should already be assessing your body and kind of looking at, all right, where do I want to take this next? You should always be ahead. This way, you prevent a lot of the plateau things happening from your body, and you keep yourself excited about what's next to come, right? You're always excited about your next goal over and over again, right?
Yeah, and take advantage of that transition period. It's a very vital time, right? Give yourself that week to see what the landscape looks like within this training program.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Before you start dominating it.
Yeah, so definitely, and when you're looking at your programs, obviously look at something that you're going to enjoy. Just because it's like, okay, oh my God, this is like the hottest thing out right now, or this is, if you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to stick to it.
Never, definitely.
You know what I mean? If that TRX class is the shit for you, if that's your deal, man, if that's your jam, go for it, right? If that boxer size class is your jam, go for it, right? Don't go and force yourself into these, say, a boot camp class when you hate going to it every minute of the time, every minute of the day. and like you're thinking about the whole day of every excuse not to go, because it's not gonna happen, people. Okay, finding the right program for you is a matter of one, where are you at currently in your fitness state? Two, what do you want to do with yourself? And three, what do you enjoy doing? And the last part of that is just stick to the damn thing.
That's it.
That's it.
It's that simple.
We
You
say
don't
that almost
have
in
to
every
complicate it.
plan that we have, because every plan that you think is gonna work or that is gonna work for you, you just gotta stick to it. That's pretty much it. If you got any questions, get at us at
BTS at strengthinu.com. That's Bobby Terry Sandy at strength-n-u.com or Instagram at strengthenu, STRENGTHNU.
you say that very quickly.
I've been saying this for the last 30
last-
episodes. So, and make sure you refer a friend, hit them up, copy and share this link. If they need it, if they've been having a hard time with their programs, tell them about who we are and what we're about. We have a shitload of videos that help you with your exercise, like we referenced in all the this video today, or the video, this podcast about JJ stuff, our podcast previously about periodization, all that stuff.
We welcome all kinds of suggestions for any topics you want us to cover. If you have any fitness-related questions, if you have any life or business-related questions, do ask. We will cover it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
more
so
than
much.
excited to.
Yeah.
We
Thank you for
appreciate
listening.
you. Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey.